So you actually went and had a meeting with Assange to talk about getting him on camera. So what was that conversation like? And what was your personal experience of dealing with him?
Well, I had a number of meetings. Some in one in the Frontline Club. I think I went to his 40th birthday party. I was there with Bianca Jagger and a number of other luminaries.
As well, you should be, as you are with most parties with Bianca Jagger, I'm sure.
Julian had announced to the celebrities he invited, including Brad and Angie, that a private jet strip was available nearby should they want to come on their private jet. And actually, Julian sent a message to me asking if I would convey an invitation to Eliot Spitzer, which I found an odd confluence of events.
Tell me you did.
I did, of course I did. But Eliot declined his invitation. So Client 9 never made it to WikiLeaks. That would have been a moment. One day I do hope to do a kind of reunion film where I get together a number of these people. Henry Kissinger, Lance Armstrong, Eliot Spitzer, Julian Assange, Jack Abramoff. I think that would, Ken Lay is gone. Jeff Skilling maybe. I would think that would be quite a party.
You do like Big Brother, just put them all in a house, see what happens.
Yeah. Survivor.
Yeah.
I think that's a better angle.
They've already survived, most of those people, except for the ones that are dead.
But I think, getting back to your question, which must have been asked about a half an hour ago, I had this one meeting very late in the process. We were quite far down the road in terms of cutting the film. I'd kept in touch with Julian circuitously and said, look, we're getting late in the process. We'd like to, see one more time whether you'd agree. And he finally said, okay, come on over. Let's talk about it. So I flew over and took the trip up to Norfolk and sat in a room with him for 6 hours straight, maybe 2 bathroom breaks. And it was a negotiation. And the essence of it I recounted here, but the spirit of it was very much in the sense that I think Julian, what he really wanted, he had no intention of giving me the interview. What he wanted was, as he called it, intel. That is to say, he wanted to see if there was any information that I could give him or whether I would spy on anybody on his behalf. I wouldn't. But interestingly enough, he spent a lot of time in that 6-hour meeting reading me an extended critique of another film that had been done and railing about his enemies, notably Birgitta Jonsdottir, whom he called a parasite, Daniel Domscheit-Berg and others. All these people were, ingrates, and I kept, interestingly, I kept trying to steer him to discussion of larger principles in which he seemed not to be particularly interested. He was sucked down into his own maelstrom of malice, really obsessed with people who were criticizing him because they were somehow maligning this mythic image that he had wanted to create for himself. That was really, in the main, what we talked about. There were a few amusing moments. I mean, when he comes down off his pedestal, he can be a kind of charming, funny guy. But too often, he's on this pedestal doing nothing more than image burnishing, which I found very dispiriting. So we had this 6-hour meeting. I thought it was going to work, that he was going to agree to an interview, and then the next day we got a note from him saying he was too tired.
I'd be tired after a 6-hour conversation, too.
I was exhausted.